Welcome to the People's Economy Podcast, the only podcast where we keep it all the way real. Our mission is to empower you with knowledge, give you some education, financially, spiritually, self improvement, whatever journey you're on. So one thing that been headline news, you see companies like Oracle and Microsoft, and probably other couple of big tech companies in the run. They're looking to acquire TikTok because the U.S. government um, has put a deadline on them. I think of September 20th has to sell. TikTok has to sell their American um, section of their company to an American company. So Dodge, I know you're doing some research. What do you see as far as this merger going on between?
Is that company ByteDance by any chance? Do you know?
Yeah, exactly. ByteDance is the mother company of TikTok.
I think they might have other applications or influence in the technology as well too, right? This is not their first dealings with America. Trying to convert over to us.
I mean, they have their Americans using TikTok right now. What it is, the government said if they don't sell that space to an American company, they're going to shut TikTok out of America. So Microsoft teamed up with Walmart, had an offer, but now today they released a news saying that they're not going to go with Microsoft, they're going to go with Oracle. So we might see like a bidding war go on right now.
And that war is like over security concerns. I would perhaps take it, right?
I mean, the government's call, the reason why the
But like,
government
yeah,
TikTok to be owned by an American company is so the security can be controlled by American company.
right, right. So that's like more or less worried. They're worried about Silicon Valley is the one that's more worried about that because of like uncertainty of their investors, like their insecurity, basically their information.
Well, you mean like it being breached, like the
Yeah,
information getting out?
to
I
China.
mean, I mean that's I guess that's always possible with a big platform like that. But what do you think? What do you when you speak of a bidding war that's going to be between Microsoft and what you said, Square,
Oracle.
why Oracle? I'm sorry, and Oracle. How do you think that'll either change or reset the market? How do you think that'll affect it if there is a bidding war between those two?
Well, one thing I noticed that Microsoft, when they said Microsoft lost the deal, today Microsoft stock actually went up because investors were fearing Microsoft to overpay for TikTok and have big debt on their books. So the stock actually went down the other
Mm.
day, but on the news that they didn't get TikTok, the stock went up. I don't think Microsoft needs TikTok to have a really prosperous future, personally.
Oh,
But
you
they
think
are,
you think it could be independent of a company like that?
I mean, I think Microsoft. I was bullish on Microsoft before they were looking at TikTok. TikTok would add to their future growth, but I wouldn't say Microsoft needs TikTok to be a great company in the future.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
actually some research I did. The creator of the ByteDance, it used to work for Microsoft. Actually, I thought that was just something, coincidence.
That is interesting because I mean, a lot of these you see that a lot. Like a lot of these tech giants, they'll hire the same people because
Yeah,
obviously they know what they're doing, right? Because they're Microsoft.
Right, right.
Why not be in TikTok? I mean, your technology education is second to none, right?
but you don't think this is just a way for our president to control the way the business is going to be dealt overseas in foreign countries, or you could say? It always was like that, but I feel he's really turned it up a notch, you could say.
As far as controlling, like what controlling
What,
information?
yeah, like what controlling what China will um, find suitable for their business or that TikTok and the algorithms that run it, because that
Well,
is what they're worried about, the
yeah,
security.
Well, that's why TikTok is not jumping like we want to sell TikTok to any of these companies because China owns TikTok. They don't want to sell to an American company, but the
Yeah,
government's kind of giving them an ultimatum, forcing
yeah.
them to sell a portion to an American company to control the data and the information on there.
So
Right.
this deal could ultimately be much higher than they're saying, right? Because who's to not say how much money is this company really worth? They don't want to miss out. I'm sure that
Yeah, I mean, there is a huge future value. I mean, look what Facebook did. So who knows what TikTok can do
Yeah.
value-wise.
I think it definitely could affect the future. Definitely the future of how business is done and mergering and partnerships how they're done and how they're structured. Because TikTok's pretty big right now. Overall, it's
So
a big platform.
depending on how you look at the situation, it could be good or bad. As far as the overall relationship with China.
I mean, because it's digital. I mean,
Yeah.
how do you control the digital space? I think it's harder to control the digital space with ban. It's not like you have to ship things or go to a place anymore to do business there. You could just on the internet you could be at wherever you want to be. So how do you can that would be a hard way, hard to ask for someone to control virtual marketing or digital marketing or things that are online. That's kind of difficult.
Yeah, that's actually why the government's having so many problems in these antitrust cases against Facebook, Google, Amazon, and Apple. Because how do you prove like they're
Right.
monopolizing digital space, like internet space, like it's not like tangible. So how do you say they're monopolizing the space when it's just like storage of
You
information and data?
you can't. You
That's a
can't.
good point. Yeah.
Because in the old times when you monopolized meant you literally took up like space, like the real estate. You took up space and you was just that big or or something like that where as like you said, it's not tangible. The internet is infinite. You could spit as much. There's room for everything to be on the internet. Whatever people go to and spend their money on, that's on them. That's like just a good product. That's just good business. That's kind of just good business at that point. You can't really say it's monopoly or not. It's just they have all the practical goods that you would need, or they have the best platform that works for most people.
Yeah, actually, I think TikTok is like the fastest growing downloaded app right now.
Makes sense.
One of them.
Makes sense. And they're smart to sort of market that to market their thing towards more youth, like all the dancing and stuff and stuff. They market it to is marketed towards youth. Even though adults use TikTok, I feel like the
Now,
youth are
now adults are
now
starting to
right,
use it.
right. It started off with just definitely young people, young kids doing it. Now the adults have jumped in, so this is where business gets done when the adults come in.
As
Because
usual, Gary Vee called it. Gary Vee said years ago, like, let's
he
start doing
did,
TikTok.
he did,
Because he called Facebook and Twitter. Now
he definitely.
he called WhatsApp too, and now he called TikTok.
And he said,
Who was that?
and Gary Vee said he slept on Uber too. He could have been in on Uber as well.
Mm.
You see, he missed the boat on that one. People didn't see that one. Gary Vee. I mean, he. I think he does a service that he uses his instincts and his knowledge to apply to situations, and a lot of times he ends up being right. And
Mm.
that's how you got to be when you're trying to learn economics or learn how business works. You gotta use practical knowledge along with the stuff that you read. You got to be able to apply it. That's the difference. So shout out to Gary Vee.
Yeah, and if I'm correct, he didn't buy it like private IPO. He bought those stocks public just like we could, you know.
Right, right,
He was money when they took off.
right.
And
You
that's
just
like a
happen to
main Gary Vee, pretty much. My
just
understanding.
happen to be. I believe you're right. I believe you're correct. So that's pretty much what it is. That's pretty much the version. Do you think this climate will create more? Not I don't want to say more Gary V's, but more of the entrepreneur spirit. Do you think the entrepreneur spirit will be bigger now, or do you think people will be more scared because of what's going on to be an entrepreneur and open business?
I think this actually brings the entrepreneur like to life. Like we said before, those small ideas that were side hustles now from your house can be turned into big corporations remotely from your from your home. So I
Mm,
think people are more open to doing business with people from their house and small companies. As long as you create a reputation, create a name for yourself, like Gary Vee did. I mean, he's VaynerMedia. They're a private company, small business. Look how big they grew. He
right,
kind of opened the lane years ago. He kind of always that was his gift. He kind of always sees the future.
right. No, he definitely does, and you definitely can build a whole corporation from your house now. The stuff you was doing as hobbies at your house before could definitely turn into at least income to like supplement or cover your bills that you was doing before. Like you can at least do that, even if you don't become super rich off it. It's enough to replace the old job that you had, at least. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. I believe the entrepreneurs are that spirit is growing right now. It's definitely not going the other way. More people are looking at it. It's probably just younger. I think younger people are going to be willing to take a chance more in this climate. Younger
Mm.
people will try to open businesses because now they know. Plus, you probably have like a little advantage right now. Let's say if you open a restaurant right now, at least you know, okay, I'm gonna have to have a good ventilation system. I'm gonna have to have outdoor seating. So you kind of have an advantage over a restaurant that's been open this whole time and maybe is struggling now because they didn't have no outside seats. Whereas now you can open a business and say, oh, this got a corner lot where I could just have tables outside, and you know what I'm
I
saying?
guess it
So
has to do with your savviness on how you
right,
approach coming
exactly.
opening the business, because your grand opening is gonna make you or break you. So at least you know what to expect and how to, make people happy. So it could work in your could work out for you.
It probably will. Plus, for people that want to do it through credit and get loans, the interest rates are pretty low right now in general.
Yeah,
So this is probably the best time to do business. This is probably when you got to try to open that business. Try to make that hobby scale. At least scale up your hobbies. That's tough. Scale up your hobbies. That's what you got to do. Just scale them up so you could get more bread than you was getting before, or if you was getting no bread off your hobbies, maybe you got to get some money off your hobbies now. Now your hobbies have to make you money. You need to increase them because they can actually become big businesses for sure.
Isn't that Gary Vee story started from the garage?
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much, pretty much. It started at the garage sale, and then now he's VaynerMedia,
Mm.
just big and all off. Just
He started
sticking
like
with it.
probably started like when he was a kid with baseball cards. Like make your
Right,
hobbies profitable.
right. Make your hobbies proud, and it makes sense because your hobbies are what you. That's like your true self, like what you really
Mm.
love to do. I really love to do X, Y, Z, whatever that is. You're never gonna stop that. So if you can get money from doing something you ain't gonna do anyway, that's the key. And I think the market now is open to that more than ever. You could definitely make hobbies your business because now you're marketing. You can market something that maybe you invented that never been around before, just yourself on Instagram or
So
Facebook,
yeah,
and
now with social media marketing, yeah, you
right,
can exactly.
right. Right, and have a whole new thing where now it's just like, oh, okay, now they do this. Now this is the new thing that's going on. We're doing virtual consultations for try on clothes or for hair or whatever. You could literally make up a job now and make it bigger because now people there's more jobs to do. There's different kind of jobs to do. They're different,
well, to do business now, you definitely gonna have to be more technically inclined with the technology realm.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. You better know how to
So,
edit a video or two for sure. We definitely do. But even that's easier. There's more apps to use now. There's more ways there's more like user friendly apps that you can use to edit videos and make whole marketing You can make a whole marketing campaign now just on your phone, like right there. You can do it. Adobe, all of those, all of that technology, and that's interesting. That's going to end up. That's going to be the. It's already. It's already through the roof with the tech space. Just from now, we need to use these apps more because now I have my
And
own
then
online business and I need to market
probably
myself. So now I got to use the app.
probably that's just a way for them the tech companies to sell you more gadgets because you're gonna need more space for your apps, right?
I mean, not
Yes,
really. You got the
yes
cloud.
and no. Yes and no, right?
Yeah, yes and no.
Because like during these times, like those companies were being they were upgrading their system like for this time. So like Jay was saying, like there's more stuff out there for you now to start a business through apps and through technology. And of
You
course,
could
yeah, you
do
got
more with the apps, right? You
yeah,
could do more for your business.
yeah. Now after these times from March to now, all these companies were working on upgrading their apps, upgrading their software, their systems, their clouds, their data space. So technology has advanced like 2 years in the last 6 months. So
Yeah.
these are more compatible now. And
One technology that that the Apple had for a while was the watch, and now they came out with the Amazon watch.
I've
What
seen
do you
that.
think about that market? You think that's gonna be like a new? It was always popular, but I think it'll get even more popular now that we see two competitors, the same, brand that have the same quality. It might be interesting to see how that, might take off the popularity of the watches.
It could. It could. I think it'll help. It'll be like Nike and Adidas. Like
Yeah,
they both around. They both kind of look at each other's stuff and they both try to one up and make it, better. But they also both have their like loyal people to both. There are some people that are just Nike head. I'm just Nike. I wear Nike. And then there's some people that I think Adidas is probably the more global brand. It's more like global. That's probably the more popular. You know how soccer is the most popular sport, like
Mm.
in the world, but not U.S., but in the world. And that's Adidas. That's like an Adidas world. You know what I'm saying? I think that competition could help with an Amazon and Apple is kind of Nike, Adidas. It's like they both can exist in the same thing and make a lot of money and be very profitable both. But maybe, hopefully, it'll help them make more, more better material. Hopefully, that's what you hope.
But is Amazon products as good as Apple products to begin with? You got to ask yourself
That's
that.
true
Like,
too.
function as fluently as a Fitbit?
That's true too. Because Apple has a more proven track record for electronics. I'll tell you that. Apple's going to be more where people are going to default go to. Like if you want a bigger, more known company with a product for watches, Rolex watches are good, right? You know that, so you just, you don't even question, you don't even question it. Rolex means is good. I think Apple is kind of like that now with the electronic space. They're known
Speaking
for
of
being
that,
innovative.
speaking of that, tomorrow September 15th is actually Apple Day, the day
Mm,
they're going to announce all their new products. Especially
mm.
for the holiday season, smart time to do it, huh?
Very smart time to do that. Very smart time. Do you think? Do you think? Do you think a company like Apple, by announcing all these new products, this being we're going into holiday season, people are going to start buying gifts. Do you think Do you think Apple stays on par for what they usually do, or do you think this year a company like Apple is going to do crazy numbers
Mm.
online?
You might just gave the investors some great information they weren't even thinking about.
Right.
They might be question because number one, like requested item before was like iPhone, iPad. Now that it's stay home, that number's probably like triple, double. Like
Right.
everybody's gonna want one of those.
Right.
An Apple
Exactly.
product for Christmas.
Exactly. Exactly. Definitely. And you home now, and they they're they're definitely going to bank on people wanting home products too. The products for your house, stuff I could
Mm.
entertain myself with at home, and that's right up Apple's alley. They got everything that you need to hook up your house, so and then everything's connected. You're all on the same
Mm.
system. So my personal belief is that they're going to do really way better than they did definitely last year, just by us being home more this Christmas,
Mhm.
and they're set up for it, and they have what Apple has on the Amazon thing. They actually have stores. They have brick and mortar. They
Mm.
have an Apple store that I can go to and get my thing fixed, and I don't got to. I think people want to do it that way instead of Amazon where I got to send my thing in. You kind of want to go to the store to get my
Yeah,
MacBook.
because those reps are very knowledgeable too. You want to
Exactly,
speak to them about how
exactly,
to use your MacBook, how to use your Fitbit.
exactly. So that's Apple's gonna they're gonna fare well, I think.
Yeah, every kid's probably gonna ask for either iPads, iPhone, or iPad for
Yeah,
Christmas.
definitely, definitely. That's definitely gonna be the choice of gift for the kids, especially now, because it's all about electronics. You can do everything on the iPad. You can draw on the iPad. You could. It's very streamlined now. Apple just they've branded themselves with quality, and
Mm.
that goes a long way. When you think Apple, you think, all right, this is gonna be it's a premium price, but the quality is gonna be good. Is gonna be good, and for the most part, that's true. For the most part, that is true. So I think they're gonna fare well, and then they're gonna bring in new customers. So now they brought in their new customers, and they're set at that price point. Now they just shifted the market again. Now you're used to paying this amount for a laptop
Mm.
or a phone, or so now other companies are gonna have to up their game and their quality of their stuff.
So
If Apple
it's
gets
not just
more good customers,
it's not that just quality. It's just they do their business too, even in the stock market realm, and the way they treat their customers and
well, that
all the
controls the stock
aspects they
market.
do is better than their competitors.
That controls the stock market. The fact that their customer service is good and their products are good, and people go to Apple and people want to work for Apple, and the people that work for Apple are very knowledgeable about the product. That makes it a quality company that it can even be in the stock market and do well within the stock market. It has to be a quality good or something of value to that company. And there's clearly a lot of value to a company like Apple, and they still have room to expand. Apple could still expand more if they
Is
want to
that
right now.
reason? Is that the reason why they split their stocks? You would say, in a way, to get that
Mm,
more room for growth, or is it
that's a
like
good question.
a lot of
That's a
different?
that's a good question. It could definitely be that. It could definitely be that. Maybe they want to be able to have a more diverse group of investors. They
Yeah.
want people to feel like they could really be part of their company.
Mm.
That's what it could be. But I guess there's a lot of factors to it. What do y'all think?
I think the same thing. I think they split the stock so that the young investors, like 19, 20-year-olds who don't have a lot of money, instead of paying $500 for a full share, they can pay 125 and get a quarter because it's split into four. But they're still buying a full share now, 125. There's just more shares available, like Jay said, to have a more diverse investors in that company to own a piece of the company
Right.
at a cheaper price.
That's so that's my
What made this their when they split, it made their worth of the stock still value at the same level compared to other companies that split and saw a loss.
Yeah,
What
I
made
mean,
Apple?
when they split, you're still getting the same amount. Like it's like taking if you take a pie and you cut the same pie 8 into 16, and you get two slices each, you're still getting the same amount of pie. You just have more slices of the pie now.
right. So it's more appealing. It's like for a
Mm.
younger person, like you said, I can get a little slice. I can afford a little. a little slice versus a giant big slice of apple pie. They split the apple pie up.
Oh snap!
That's what they did. They split the apple pie up, and then now everybody feels like they can afford a slice. So it definitely probably speaks to what you're saying, Doc. It's probably a preparation for something bigger to come. I'm sure. I'm sure something bigger is going to come with Apple.
Does that happen with most companies when they split, or is there different
Apple's
aspects to look at why companies do that?
Apple split like 8 times already. Nobody really splits like Apple. Like that's what they do. Like
Yeah,
Right.
and there's analysts saying that even at this $2 trillion valuation, they have so much faith in the future of Apple. They're saying it can still be a cheap time to buy an Apple. It's the most expensive company in the world. It still be a good evaluation of buying. That's how much like Apple is like affecting the future. How much they're gonna bring to our future for consumers.
Yeah. I see it. Yeah, and like I said, they have the technology to scale up and to do any marketing. They could reach any demographic they want. The Apple's definitely the future. Apple's definitely here for a while, and they're set up. They're probably set up one of the best for the future.
I mean, Amazon is too, but Amazon's more shipping product. I don't know if they compete with Apple in actually making
Right.
technology. I mean, they do have Amazon, like the Fire Stick and like,
They do.
but they're still tweaking. But Apple was like like Apple's like number one. Like,
Apple's out of here. They had all that stuff that Apple been had. They've been had Apple TV and Apple this and so you're right. Some companies, but then Apple can't compete with Amazon's shipping and that they don't have that. So it's like there's a give and take, but they're both big companies in probably different ways, not in the same exact way.
So
Not
on
the same.
the update on the TikTok's deal, it didn't go through with Walmart and Microsoft, correct? It
well,
wasn't. They couldn't come to agreement.
Microsoft, Walmart actually teamed up with Microsoft because they want to compete with Amazon because Microsoft needs like some technology on their company to like because Amazon's technology and retail e-commerce, so Walmart's trying to do that. But right now, Oracle made a better deal, so who knows? Microsoft might come back with another offer against Oracle. Like nothing's really set in stone yet. They're still trying to like bid on TikTok. We'll see who the higher bidder. What it is, Microsoft wants to buy it and like take over the whole company. Oracle's willing to be more like a partner. That's probably why they picked Oracle because Microsoft.
I think Oracle is, they with the government, they're coexistent, not coexistent. I want to say, but they're more open to like doing things the government's way to make the deal happen than the bigger companies, which
I
is
don't think
Walmart and
Oracle can
Microsoft.
handle TikTok like Microsoft more in position to handle the transition like that.
But
Oracle's
Oracle's willing to work with the government and be transparent in the dealings that could
they're
work
willing to
out in
work
their
more.
favor to
They're
make
willing to
the
work
deal
more.
happen.
They're willing to work more with TikTok and be like a partner. I think
Yeah,
Microsoft wants to dominate, but
yeah.
we'll see the best man win, right?
Pretty much. It definitely be a bid, but whoever gets that deal is gonna be good. It's gonna be good for them. Definitely, because TikTok's that's a big platform. It's definitely a big platform.